All right, so tell the people who we're talking to that. Reason, Carson, California, hip hop artist. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. And how was the flight in?
It was cool, quick. LA to Vegas is always like my favorite flight. Yeah.
Also, you've been there like a bunch of times.
Yeah, I'm from LA, so Vegas used to be a memorial summer thing when I was in my ratchet days.
Interesting. I feel that. I feel that, man. So what are important years to you, man? And who in the industry do you really want listening right now?
If I'm thinking about like important ears, I'm thinking about people that like give back to the culture, like people that actually care. I feel like we're in a space now where it's like majority of people are doing their content, their platforms, podcasts, whatever it is, and they're only focused on. I understand you have to focus on it, but their only focus is just the reach that they have, and it seems like the passion is missing. So the people that like actually still had the passion for it, yeah.
I feel that, man. I feel that. And I can agree with that, man. That's a perfect segue into my next question because I was watching an interview you did with Bootleg Kev, where you talked about feeding the ecosystem and the lack of, just really the ecosystem really having that, like, for lack of better words, reduce, reuse, recycle, because it's circulation, So how do you choose to do, like, interviews, like, I obviously like this one, versus something that's just for clicks, just for the numbers?
To me, it's about like the same way that I approach my music, which is wanting something to be quality. Like, to me, when people have these sit downs with people that, I mean, if we're gonna call a spade, don't really give a fuck about what we give a fuck about, then now you're just having a moment, like you said, for clicks. But the interview isn't quality. The conversation isn't quality unless you're going into a space like that. Like you're going into, like I think Carson and I does a lot of the humor stuff. So it's like, okay, you go in there, let's not even talk about music. Let's just have fun. Cool, right? I'm saying I'm all for it. But I also think that there's a world where you still got to feed the ecosystem. You still got to sit down with the people that actually care. You know what I mean? And I feel like right now streaming is so big that every artist is doing that. And it's like these streamers, they're even, and it ain't the streamers' fault. They're even admitting they like, we don't care, bro. Yeah, it's like people will still go sit down with them because they feel like they need them, when it's like, you like none of your fans are gonna listen to your album because you sat down with you. And that's the thought that they don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
There is no, and I could be wrong, but like from I share the same point of view, man. Like, where's the translation?
Yeah,
where's the really return on that investment?
Yeah, where's the conversion? I would love to see an artist streaming numbers like before they sit down on like a popular stream, and then like after it airs. I would just love to see what it looks like, because I don't believe that it converts, but I do believe that if you go to like who the important ears are with whatever your niche is, like if that's the music that you're making, that's like Playboy Cardi sitting down on a concert, that makes sense. That's important ears for him. That makes sense. That correlates. You know what I'm saying? And I used this example before, and I love her to death, so I hope her whole. But like Nicki Minaj shouldn't be on a Kai Sinat string. Like, I have too much respect for everything that Nicki's done. To me, she's the greatest female rapper of all time. Nicki, you don't read Kai Sinat. Not can go sit down with she can go sit down with anybody, and it's going to get clicks. But that's somebody want her team telling her like, yo, you should go and do,
because he's the hottest new thing out right now. You get what and no disrespect to Kai Sinat.
I think Kai Sinat is a generational talent, and I love everything that he's doing in his space. But that's, like, it's okay for people to have different spaces. Like, that's okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see Jay-Z sit down with Kai Sinat, bro. I don't. As much as I love Jay-Z and as much as I love Kai Sinat, I don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying? But I love the fact that Kevin Hart is doing this. Like, that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Like,
so that translates, bringing Kai Sinat into film would be,
that's incredible. Hilarious. That'd be crazy. And that's why those strains have done so well, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, that actually made the branding and everything else, it makes sense.
Yeah. The only guys I really see sitting down with like Ebro and shit right now is like Tyler,
bro. And I loved his conversation that he had with Ebro. You get what I'm saying? Like, but that's what I mean. It's like you get these moments where a guy like Tyler's able to be so vulnerable and so open about what music means to him. He can't even get that moment if he's sitting down with, you get what I'm saying?
That is the whole script.
It's a script already laid out before. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he can't even get that moment because it's not two people that's on the same passion level about what we're talking about. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
See, it's a fact. I feel that, right? Is that part of like what importance ears important ears only means to you, as far as like not just who's listening, but where you're being heard as well.
Yeah, for the most part, like I tell people, it's funny. I just had this conversation with Jid, and we were talking about this. And he was saying like, I know I'm not for everybody, and he was like, and to be honest with you, like, no artist is for everybody. He was like, but what I care about is going to the people that I am for and making them as satisfied with the product, making them as happy with the product, making them as proud of me for delivering the product as possible. Like, it's not about going to the people that I'm not for. I could really care less what they, you get what I'm saying? Like that. So I feel the same way. It's not just where you go have conversations at, it's who listens to your music. Like if my music isn't for you, it's all good. But what I don't want is for somebody that my music is for to feel like it's not of a certain standard or a certain quality. Like I always want to make sure that my fans and the people that love what my messages and what I have to say are fully satisfied with everything that I put out. So when I'm making my music, I'm thinking about it from that perspective.
I love that. I love that. And I'm a dad, so and I preach that, like you're not gonna be for everybody.
You're not gonna be for everybody.
And that's important for people to understand, because
for sure,
the people that are for you, man, it's like a Bible verse or something like that. I could be, don't get credit for misquoting, but if you build it, they'll come. Yeah, it's and I'm a firm believer of that. After leaving TDE in June last year, what did that moment feel like, and like for you creatively, emotionally?
Yeah, liberating. It felt like when I first started doing music. Like when I first started doing music, I was doing it to feel better and to get shit off my chest, because I never was able to talk about stuff. You know what I mean? And I feel like I kind of lost that being signed. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of it was about checking boxes, the business, satisfying other people. When you start off doing something to feel better and to heal certain parts of you, when you try to combine that with satisfying other people, it's really hard to like mix those two. You know what I mean? And so going indie, it's like just liberated. Like I go to the studio, I'm so much more precise. Like I used to take like 40, 50, 60 songs to make an album, and now it's like I already know coming in what I want to say, what I want it to sound like. It's so much easier. But I think that it's because the pressure's off. It's more liberating, and I'm also listening to the fans now instead of listening to what this person thinks behind closed doors or what this person thinks behind closed doors. I'm going straight to the fans and seeing what they like, what they love, what they didn't like, and it just makes it so much easier. Yeah.
That's fire, man. 40 to 60 songs is crazy, bro. Or did he chop down you get what I'm saying? Say like you chop down to like 15. What it's like almost like you kind of have to order to kind of, because you're trying the process a little fast.
Exactly, make it a little faster, and you're trying to check so many boxes. So it's like while you're making a project, you got somebody in your ear like, yo, we need something for for this crowd, for this playlist, for this play. And then now it's like, of course I still keep that in mind, but at the same time it's like going back to the important ears. Like I keep the important ears in mind way more than anything else. You get what I'm saying? Like, and so it's just like, okay, as long as I know for a fact that the people that I'm trying to deliver this to are going to be happy, then like we can move on to the next one.
That's fire, man. Yeah, that's fire, man. It's like getting back to the roots.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. You mentioned that you nearly returned to a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
Just because like the contract felt so long, and like what gave you like the strength, or like what was the driving force to really push through that moment?
Yeah, I honestly, bro, it was just getting out of it. Like, because if I would have had to stay for like another year or two, I probably would have just went back to work. Because like I said, like I was already, before doing music, I was already making close to 6 figures, on my way to, mid 6 figures. Like that was my trajectory for what I was doing. So it was like, I come from like work, you get what I'm saying? Like going to work and getting a job, like it's not that big of a deal. So to me, how I look at it is, if I'm gonna work a career in music where I'm not happy doing work or being where I'm at right now, I might as well go work a job that I'm not happy with. At least then I clock in, clock out, I dip, you get what I'm saying? Like, and it's like I enjoy my off time the way that I want to enjoy it. Whereas with music, you don't necessarily enjoy your off time the way that you want to enjoy it, because you're always this person. You get what I'm saying? Like you always have to become like music is any entrepreneurship. It's way more hours than people think it is. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but they don't understand how many unpaid hours you have to work. So it's like, if you get booked for a show for $10,000 as an artist, people think like, oh my God, I wish I could make $10,000 in 20 minutes. Not understanding that they work so many unpaid hours to get to a point to where they can make 10 grand in 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really you're not paying me for these 20 minutes. You're paying me for the project that I put out, that you're booking me to perform those songs. It took me 6 months to make that project. Paying me for the 6 months that it took me to make this project. And I gambled on myself, because what if you didn't like the project, so you didn't want to book me at all? You get what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at it. It's like, if I'm not gonna like where I'm at in this music, like, I might as well go get a guaranteed paycheck that's coming every single other Friday. You know what I mean? I know exactly what it's gonna be, and like have that, you know what I mean, that stress free feeling of it. But yeah, long-winded answer, just getting out of it and knowing that I control my own destiny is kind of what that light at the end of the tunnel was, what kind of like kept me pushing through. So you
feel that, man. I feel that, man. Yeah, man. That's that guaranteed paycheck, bro. Hey, guaranteed money is,
bro. People don't, man, like tempting. You know, you were talking about entrepreneurship, and they look at all the freedom and stuff that you have, but it's like
working for yourself is not just chopped up. It's not. It's like you said. We mentioned the unpaid hours, man. Like you're gonna go through so many moments of, damn, I should have been paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I could have got paid for that. Then I could have been just working a job this whole time, you know.
We got to eat that. We got to bite the bullet on that. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just part of it. And if you don't want to do that, then you're going to end up quitting and getting a regular job anyway. And then all the money you dumped into that is just going to be the body, the time, emotion, like everything, bro, is gone. So it's always better to just keep your head up there. So I feel that, man. Like, looking back on There You Have It and New Beginnings, which got like two of my favorite songs by you in there. Love, thank you.
What lessons shaped the making of I Love You Again? Because that album, like you mentioned, it does feel like a coming back home, falling back in love with the craft again. So yeah, what did that feel like?
It felt like that. I wanted to make a project that represented literally how I felt. Like I felt like I fell back in love with music again. I felt like I felt when I first started doing it. I started feeling excitement after writing a new song and listening back to it the first time. I started feeling excited about it again. And so halfway through, like, I was just throwing paint at the wall. So when I don't know what my next project is going to be about, so I'm just making shit, I was just throwing paint at the wall. And then halfway through, I was having so much fun that I was like, damn, I actually like doing this shit again. Like, I actually do. Like, I thought that I didn't like it no more. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely thought I didn't like it no more. I was like, damn, you know, that passion's run its course. But I'm like, damn, I actually genuinely like this again. And so I wanted the project to feel like that. So I just went back to all the things that I loved about music. So even like the talking in between the songs, like Wayne is my favorite rapper of all time. He did that on the dedication. The dedications that just like dropped on streaming, they just took that shit off again. That pissed me off. But they put the drought up, so that's cool. But then drop. But I was listening to it and I was like, I could remember the things he was saying between this. Like, I'm that big of a Wayne fan that I could remember everything he was saying. So I was like, damn, I want to give my fans that feeling. So I just started talking in between joints and just putting my favorite records on there and it not being a storyline. And it's something that I kind of want to keep doing. Like, I want to keep doing these I Love You Again projects, like whenever I'm kind of in some downtime between projects, because it's very easy to do, and it's a passion project that it's almost like a thank you to my fans that's still fucking with me. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, here's a free gift. Here goes 12 or 13 joints just to let fuck with y'all.
Hell yeah, man. We fuck with that. Hell yeah, man. That's dope, man. I love that you're falling back in love with it, man, because, you know, like you talked about kind of being a part of the machine, you know, and obviously not referencing in that sense, but, you know, like, in a sense, you know, being a part of that, you know, in a grand scheme, it can be taxing, you know, and like you say, kind of strip away like what really started you getting into this in the first place.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's dope. It's always dope to see dope artists coming back to what it actually started about. You know, that's your reflection of music. So that's a fact. The project is dope, and as I was listening through it, I was like, damn, this shit feel like it does feel like that, you know.
Yeah.
no ceilings, you know, sorry for the week kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, or, you know, just that like dope mixtape feel, you know.
I think the biggest compliment I got from a fan was a fan DM me and it was a girl. She was like, "You sound happy. Like this shit is dope." And actually, that was like the biggest compliment that I could get. Yeah,
especially between in the breathage.
exactly.
You know, like it's like I actually like just like yo, real quick. Yeah, Sam, maybe like that shit is like it made me smile. You know, because like as an artist, it's dope to see like. No, this is what it's about, you know, like that true form of expression. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, you know, anything too calculated. It's not too, you know, like fabricated, but manufactured.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even too thought out, which I love. You know what I mean? Especially because, you know, artists that are in my world, we're always overthinking everything. You know what I mean? And so that was kind of what I wanted to do. I was like, I just want to put some shit together that sound hella dope together that is not too deep, but the music is really fire, and it's all music I love. Like every single song on there is something that I love. It's not something I had to like fight against. Like, oh, do I want to put this on? Like, it was just like these are my favorite joints. See what I'm saying? Like we just gonna do that, and that's why I want to continue to do it.
So yeah. Your new album dropped earlier this year. What is the title? Obviously, we already got the title means. But now that you're fully independent, how is your creative process in the freedom at Law 40?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, kind of like what I touched on a little bit earlier, is just like being more precise. Now I kind of like even right now, like I'm gonna drop 2 more EPs before the year is up, and one of them's already done, and I'm about to finalize the next one. But it's like I already know what I want them to sound like, what I want them to visually look like, what I want them to feel like, and so it's way more precise. Like I can just start with the music or samples that I like and be like, yo, hit up some of the homies that, you know, produce, help them with exactly what I want to accomplish. And I'm being way more like, what is it? Like just intentional with exact, like I'm even telling them while they're making the beat, like, this is what I'm going to be rapping about. I haven't wrote the verse yet, but this is what I'm going to be rapping about. This is a story that I'm going to tell. I want it to feel like a sad kid, or I want it to feel like, you know, a girl that just got off for work on Friday. Like I'm telling them exactly what I want it to feel like, what I want it to look like and seem like. And then it just makes the verses way easier because I already know exactly what I want to do. So now it's like if I'm making a 10-song project, now I'm only making like 19 joints and I'm getting them right that quick because I already know exactly what I want them to look like, and I know how to produce. So I'm not good at producing, but I taught myself how to produce to be able to speak the language to producers. Okay. So I made like 100 trash beats, and I was like, okay, I know how to do it now. I got the fundamentals. You know what I mean? Like I can't really do all the shit, but I know, you know what I mean? So I can tell them things like, yo, love those drums, but the snare is off, or, you know, cut the highs off of this, or, you know what I mean, take the lows off of that. Like I can tell them that and get exactly what I want, because I always knew what I wanted my music to sound like in my head. It's just taking it from here to there. So now that I've been independent and I can kind of work with whoever I want to work with in the fashions I want and be precise in my projects and not have like any pushback of like, well, nah, we don't think you should make a project about that or this or whatever. It just makes it like way, like it's just a smooth process. And I think it's just going to increase the volume in which I'm able to drop, but like the quality is not going to drop. The quality is going to still be there. It's just the volume is going to be higher because I don't have to second guess nothing. It's just like, let's roll. So you do it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I love that, man. I love that. Now you're known as an elite storyteller. Which is funny because, you know, you talked about, you know, not having a story really about, you know, I love you again. It's more so just like the concept of you falling back in love with again, you know, showing the people you're happy, telling them thank you for riding along this journey, you know, so on and so forth. But how do narrative and memory play into your writing process?
It's everything to me. Like that's my favorite. Like I like a lot of different forms of rap. I like punchlines and metaphors. That's why I love Wayne. I like what I call like real life raps, which is why Hove is one of my favorite rappers all the time. But my favorite thing about a rapper is when they can put something into story fashion to the point to where you can literally like see it while they're, you know what I mean, telling it. And I try to capture that when I am storytelling. I love writing a verse from the perspective of like telling you how somebody feels and then transferring straight from how somebody feels into the actual story. So I might be telling a story about how a mother is grieving and then just transfer straight into the day that she's like watching her mother like pass away or something like that. And then that'll be the story of like my mom and my grandma. You know what I'm saying? So it'll go from emotion to like putting you actually in the room. And my favorite artists, some of my favorite artists could do that at a high level. J. Cole, Lupe Fiasco, Kendrick Lamar. Like these are stuff that they're masters at it. You would talk about Lupe at yeah, bro. You know, it's all about everybody. Lupe is every lyricist's favorite rapper, bro. Like, man, you can't be a high level rapper and not have Lupe as one of your favorite rapper. Like for me, he's the greatest pen of all time. And I know people have arguments about that I don't even want to, you know what I mean, get into. But Lupe, he's phenomenal at it. And I look at albums like The Cool and how even on that he's like, Lord, please have sympathy and forgive my Cool Young history. And then you find out that my Cool Young is Michael Young, and it's about a guy named Michael Young. And then that whole album, now when you listen to it from that perspective, and it's not just, you think he's just rapping about cool shit, he's actually telling you a story about a guy named Michael Young and how that's the level of storytelling that I try to like.
How to go back.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, that album is phenomenal, bro. And so, you know, I think that's how he ends the album, but I could be wrong. It's either how he starts the album or how he ends it. But he says, Lord, please have sympathy and forgive my Cool Young history. But he's saying Michael Young. And so then when you listen to the album from that perspective and you hear everything he's saying and you put a man in place of that, it just gives it a whole different embodiment of it. And so for him to write that whole album from that perspective, it's like that's the level of storytelling that I like try to aspire to be at. Yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah,
that's crazy, man. Yeah,
you gotta go back and look.
Of course, right. Because I remember even after COVID or during COVID, there was a song that he wrote, obviously, like fucking, I can't even remember when, like 2008 or some shit.
Yeah.
And the shit was like, it was talking about exactly what was. I'm like, bro, Lupe has been genius level with the pen since forever, man.
Yeah,
and we don't talk about it.
No, we don't
talk about him enough, man.
And I think that's why Lupe be frustrated, which I feel it. I can't be mad at him I can't be mad at somebody that's so talented, and then there's people that exist in the space. Like, he's so talented at a certain space, and then there's people that exist in that space that claim that they care so much about that space, but can't recognize how talented he is. That could be frustrating. You get what I'm saying? That could be frustrating. It could be like being clearly the best player on a sports team, and your coach who's hired to coach the team can't even realize that you are
they got you on the fish.
You get what I'm saying? I can relate to how frustrating that can. You get what I'm saying? So they're extreme. Like, bro, I'm on. I can relate. I can get it. You know what I mean? So yeah. But shout out to Lupe. He's absolutely fucking incredible. Yeah.
Your 2023 project Porches felt like a pivot point. What did that represent to you right before it advanced?
Being honest, I love Fortress. I think it came out like incredible for what I was going through. But I was talking to my brother about this. Like, I made that album depressed, and so for me, that's the first time I've ever made a project like while not in a good mental space. You know what I mean? And I know some artists talk about that's when they make their best projects. That's not for me. You goes like, God bless them. God bless them. That's incredible. That's really dope that you can do that you can make a project that's so fire while you're going through, you know, such low times. But for me, I think I did the best that I could given the circumstances. And I love the project. I still listen to it. Like, there's no regrets that I have with that project. It's not like I look back at how some artists be like, I hated that project, but I just put it out. It wasn't that. Because one thing I will never do while I'm an artist is put out something that I don't love. I won't do that. You know what I mean? But it's hard to listen to it sometimes because I remember where I was mentally when I had to write some of these records. And I remember putting like a mask on to try to, like, I remembered making that album sound happier than what I was because that was how I coped with it. So I wasn't happy. So I tried to make the album sound brighter and sound happier to kind of mask what I was going through. You get what I'm saying? And so you make the project depressed. You go through the PR depressed. It's like, it's a hard thing to accomplish, but it did show me that there's always a silver lining in something because there's still something that you can bring out of it that's really, really dope. You know what I mean? And so I do feel like the project came out different from everything else that I've made. And it also, that process taught me how to make better records. Like, I feel like I became a better songwriter during that process.
Okay.
Because I tried to cover up some of usually I would talk about darker shit. I tried to cover that up with like making better records, if that makes sense.
So gosh, yeah. Don't want to. And what was that like? More so like just not to, I guess, fall deeper into it.
Yeah, like one of those things. Putting the mask on. Like I knew the way I write from such an authentic place of how I feel that if I start writing down that path, it just kind of snowballs, and then now the whole project gonna be about depression. I don't want to put out a project copyright, like not right now at least. You know what I mean? So, I just pivoted. It was just like I'm just gonna try to write the best records that I can possibly write. And it came out really dope. Like I really fucked with that project, and a lot of my fans do too. And I still have my reason elements of storytelling and stuff like that. But if a fan goes back and listens to it with this conversation in mind, they'll hear the spots in the album where I was starting to fall that way, and then I was kind of like, all right, let me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, you know, with this in mind, the intro kind of feels a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I'm like, damn, you know, like that's how we're going missing.
Even while I did I was literally drinking while I made the intro. Like because that was how I was getting through my depression. It's like, you know, I'm not proud to say it, but I was drinking a lot, and I remember having to record the intro. Bro, it took me like, and I record pretty fast. It took me like 3 hours to record the intro. I'll be drunk, and I sounded drunk, and I was like, I don't want to sound like just faded, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I was trying to get it done. But yeah, the intro, like, you know, records like Call Me, like it's a lot of records on there that you can kind of tell when I'm pivoting that way, and then it switches over to a You Better or At It Again or something like that, which is me trying to just like, you know what I'm saying, kind of go away from yourself back. Exactly.
Yeah, that's okay. When you're making music now, and are you thinking more about reaching everybody or just the right bodies?
Same thing as what we talked about, the important ears. Like it's like worst come to worst, my people first, and whoever spirals off of that, dope, glad to have you. You saying like welcome, like better late than never. Yeah, but the worst come to worst, my people first.
That man, I like that.
Dilated peoples. With their worst come to worst, my people first.
What's the difference between fans who hear you and fans who see you? And do you think gatekeepers really know the difference?
Fans that hear you versus fans that see you. I think that there are two types of fans right now, and there's the fans that really love the music, and then there's the fans that fall in love with who a person is and their character, and then whatever that person does, they're just gonna like it. You know what I mean? The difference, I would say, is that, especially nowadays, it almost seems at times that people liking you is more important, because like blind following or blind faith will get people to support like whatever you do. Whereas like if people are there for what they hear, what they like, it could sometimes come like if they don't like it, then they might not support this one as much, you know what I mean, or whatever. So I do think it's a thin line that you have to walk. Like, I mean, we look at like even like in just the world, like the presidency, like the people that follow Trump, it's like it's blind loyalty. They don't care what he could do, whatever he wants, and they're gonna, you get what I'm saying? And so those are like the fans that see a person or just are in love with a personality, and they're just like, yo, I just rock with that person. It don't matter what they do, right? So I do think it's a silver lining. I do think that you have to, you know, put forth a personality that's likable, but I would urge somebody to not make that personality something that's not authentic to them, because then you just have to be that person all the time. Like now you're like 6'9", where you get what I'm saying? Every time the camera's on, he has to be the persona. He has to be 6'9" every time, and then sooner or later it catches up with you. Like sooner or later somebody gonna catch you out, and you just want to be whatever the nigga name is. On a regular day, you feel me? Like you can't be that because you've been 6'9", you know what I mean? So I definitely think that it's a thin line between trying to do both. And then what was the part about the gatekeepers?
Do you think gatekeepers know the difference?
I don't think gatekeepers care no more, bro. That's the scary part. Like, bro, I've been in this weird space when it comes to just like media, and I still call it blogging or streaming, where I'm just like, musicians and artists are getting held accountable for their music. What I mean by that is by the quality of it. And I don't feel like gatekeepers are, bro. They don't, like, I don't feel like podcasters get held accountable. I don't feel like people that do interviews get held accountable. Like, I know some people, I've sat down with people that are like, I'm not gonna say the names, but like relevant in the space. And like before the camera cuts on, they're like, okay, well, I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole album. Then what are we doing here? And like, what are we talking about? Like that to me, that's like equivalent to an artist putting out an album before they even finished it. Like, but that artist would be held accountable for that. Like, if it sounded unfinished, they get killed. Like, the nigga's been killing Wayne. And this nigga gave us how many years of great music, and now the Carter Six isn't what you love, and they was dragging this nigga. Like, so he'll get held accountable for the Carter Six, even though he has this incredible career in years. But then you can have an interviewer that can sit down and talk to somebody that they haven't even done research on, but nobody's ever going to hold them accountable. I just feel like the gatekeepers just feel like everybody's so focused on clicks and I just feel like it's just become a job for them. It's like going to, like, working at Starbucks.
It's like, oh, we got another big name, bet.
I got another big name, bet. Let's check the boxes. Let's get through there. Let's fill up the cup and let's, you know what I mean? Let's put it out. And then every blue moon, they do some shit that they have a passion about, and so they pour into that. But it's like, that's why I fuck with the people that like Gina Views. I don't know if you know Gina Views. She's an upcoming media personality in hip hop. I mean, I came up with Gina. I know Gina. She's from LA, but like, she's so passionate about everything she does. You won't see an interview where Gina's unprepared, even if she don't like the artist. Even if she don't like the artist she's sitting down with, she gonna go listen to all this shit. She gonna do her research. She gonna come in with notes. Like, that's how I used to be. And I feel like because of the uptick of how often we have to do shit, like content wise, it's hard to do that now. Like, niggas ain't able to do that because
the attention to detail is looked over, man. Because like, again, you know, fact of like, we got another big name, you know, and the clicks are there. Let's just do that again.
Yeah, bro. Like, people doing Breakfast Club doing like 5 interviews a day now. They used to only do like a couple a week. Yeah. So it's like, how can they keep up and research everybody? But then it's like, that's where the accountability comes in, because artists are supposed to, we get held accountable if we go missing for too long or don't have enough content for the rollout. So that's what I mean. It's like the requirements can't uptick and then your work not uptick. You know what I'm saying? But it does do that, and then nobody holds them accountable. So then you get these interviews or these lackluster rollouts where people don't even have nothing to talk about. They just kind of checking the bots. You know what I mean? Unless you're just uberly talented at interviews, like Charlamagne. Even though he does do the research, but he's just uberly talented.
He's a fucking entertainer.
He can just sit down and talk to anybody about anything. So unless you're uberly talented like that, then that's different. But yeah.
I feel it. Now, like, before you said hip hop is a sport, you ever feel like most people in the stands aren't even equipped to judge the game?
1,000%. 1,000.
I ain't gonna lie, I do that. I kind of do the answers to that question, but why?
Like, the thing I love about the NBA is that they got Shaq and them talking. I love that. Because you got niggas that actually did it. You get what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, every now and then you get like somebody like Kendrick Perkins that don't know what he's talking about. But for the most part, you get a high level quality of conversation because you got Kenny Smith, you got Shaquille O'Neal, you got Charles Barkley. You got people that actually walked through that. And then Herney just sit there and shut the fuck up, which I love it. You get what I'm saying? He mediates and that's it.
Yeah.
We need that in hip hop. Like, I love the fact that like more artists are starting, like people are like clowning rappers for doing podcasts. I fuck with that because we need more people that are equipped to do it, or we need producers to I would love to see more producers even get into podcasting, because producers understand music even at a higher level than artists. So I would love to see, you know, I don't know, grab, if Dilla was still alive, God rest his soul, Dilla and Swiss Beats do a podcast and do album reviews. That would be phenomenal. You get what I'm saying? That'd be crazy to me. So, but yes, to answer your question, I think that that's a big issue. Is way too many people that's like, you know what I mean, that don't even hold they can't even talk you through the basics of what it is to make a song or perform or something.
Two of you validated commentators, bro, have no skin in the game. You know what I'm saying?
And they stand on it, and they stand in, like, people also repost their shit. It's crazy. I just saw some shit, and whenever I bring up somebody, it's never because I don't like them personally, you know, like that. I just might not like what you said in one clip, and then I may like what you said in another clip. But Ray Daniels talking about like J. Cole's like a decent rapper. I'm like, bro, like, there's no planet that you can say something like that. I'm like, okay, so it's like the shit like that. You get what I'm saying? That I'm just like, bro, why is Ray Daniels talking about
J. Cole is a decent rapper is insane.
As a hell of a statement. It's insane. It's insane. Like, what is that saying? Like, that's one of the best rappers that we've ever had in this rap game, period. Like,
period. I was just talking to my homie about this. You know, we're just talking about like best pins in the game. You know, like, then first one your name is like, bro, J. Cole.
I told people Cole's been the best pin before the apology shit, because I know that fucked up whatever a lot of people think about Cole, but Cole was the best rapper on the planet for the last 6 years before that. Without a question, he was the best rapper as far as pen. So that don't mean he made the best music, because that is subjective. But as far as what he did with a pen, Cole was the best rapper on the planet for the past like 6 years before that. And so to ever even like utter something like that is crazy. You know, for sure, like it's sensational. So yeah.
Real quick, like you mentioned Dilla, man, it made me think about something. I was listening to your music the other day, because like you mentioned, you know, like just preparation, you know, like just making sure I'm up to game on, you know, who I'm talking to, refresh, like that I don't know.
No, but it's like refresher and stuff like
absolutely. But it just brought me to a realization that I didn't have before, which is, bro, your production,
I take pride.
It's insane, bro. You have some of the craziest flips that nobody talks about, bro. Like, I'm going through this shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, I take pride in it, because it's like the biggest knock that all lyricists have is production. That's also like bro. That's always the thing. And even for me, like I'm a big Nas fan as a pen, but like it was so hard for me to I had to force myself to get into Nas as a kid, because I hated to me, the difference between Jay-Z and Nas was beats. Hove could pick really, really good beats. Yay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and then you look at, you know, you fast forward to King's Disease, you know,
I ain't producing that, bro. Like literally, bro. And then once Hit Boy stepped in, I'm like, oh, like, okay, Nas won't credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I take a lot of pride in that. Like, I take a lot of pride in like the producers that I fuck with, and also like helping producers. Like a lot of artists, they just get packs of beats. Like any producer that I've worked with consistently, that you'll like see their name a lot, you can even ask them, like, they don't just come in the studio and it's all on them. Like, it's so much pressure that gets put on producers, bro. Like, if people actually were at a session, like, it just be artists that's just in there to like play me some shit, and it's like, nah, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that. Like, I'll come in and be like, yo, I'm looking for something between 85 and 100 BPM. It'll feel like this. I'll play references of like the shit that I'm looking for. If I want drums, I'd be like, I want the drums to sound like Rich Spirit by Kendrick Lamar. I want the drums to sound like Lost Ones by I'll give you a parameter to do what you doing. And it's not to say like don't do nothing else. It's just to give you some type of direction, because it's like, if I just tell you like, yo, play me some shit, like, or you producers make 30 beats a day, like, Riga, they don't know what the fuck like, you know what I mean? They don't know what you feeling, they don't know what you own, they don't know none of that, for sure. And so I just take production really, really serious, because even though I love lyricism, like, one thing I hate is a lyrical ass nigga up a trash beat. I hate a lyrical nigga. Like, you missed us, bro. So I'm over it. Came over it before you would start. You for sure, man.
Which is dope, man. It makes me excited for, you know, what's coming after.
Yeah,
for you, because, you know, knowing that you have, you know, your hands really that much deeper in the process, you know, for producers, and actually being able to, even beforehand, giving them this blueprint to start with, you know, but even now being able to be a lot more choosy with what who you're working with, you know, what they can do, you know, so on and so forth. It's like, I can only imagine where this is gonna take you.
Yeah, bro. Like, no, I'm excited. Like, these next 2 EPs, like, they're coming out incredible, and it feels effortless. You know what I mean? And so that's the most exciting part of the whole process. So yeah.
Oh yeah. What's your approach to sequencing albums? Like, do you build them for casual listeners or for the few people catching every transition?
I build them for a little bit of both. Casual listeners is always production wise. I try to rap on or choose beats that I feel like a casual listener, like, if they just listen to us playlist on Spotify and they pop up, they're like, oh, I like this song. So I think about that, but I also try to make it like a full thing. So I want people to be able to play a project from start to finish without having to press skip. You know what I mean? I know we live in the playlist era where it's like, oh, here go 14 songs, playlist your favorite 4, and then move on. Right. But I want people to be able to play it, and I love when people don't know when a song starts or ends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that when it could just play all the way through, because those are some of my favorite albums. Like, that's Good Kid, Mad City at least once a month, and that shit just plays like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Right. The Cool, like I already said, Forest Hills Drive. I can go on and on. Black Album, but all of those albums, they play like that. It's almost to a point to where if you hear a song and you know the album, and then the next song when that album doesn't come on, it feel weird, because like extinct. You get the inside what it's on the inside. Yeah, that's something, bro. Like, they just come on in the day. It's like it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's dope, bro. Because like I I think we really got to get back to listening to albums from start to finish, man. Like,
Yeah.
we got to get out of this, microwave era where we like, again, picking for the favorites and then just like going on to the next thing. It's like, bro, just, I swear to God, you'll find more than that, that you like.
That's why I love the ghost features thing that people are doing where, like, I don't know if you noticed it, like, artists are dropping, like, Jid just did it. They dropped their project in the first 24 hours of it. You can't see the feature. It's just kind of, so that way you can't be like, oh, that's a Cole record. Like, oh, that's a, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a Clips record. Like, you forced to listen to the shit, and then Cole just come on rapping, and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. But it's like, if Cole's name would have been there, you probably would have been like, all right, before I go to this one, let me just go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me just go and skip over this shit. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that people are doing these ghost features. I like that. Yeah, that's fun.
To your point, man, I think it's important for the experience, like, if there's something that connects this project to the next, bro, like, you'll miss it skipping around and shit. For sure. Just sure. Listening to things in order. I think, artists like yourself are intentional with the order of the songs, so on and so forth. Like, it's all part of the journey.
But we obsess over that shit. That's why, like, when you see artists like flipping out and people like, oh, they're being too sensitive, it's like, bro, like, I spent 8 months making this shit. It's like if you spend all day cooking some shit, you gonna be like, yo, do y'all taste the Mac? Like, you know what I mean? Do you nobody taste the Mac? Yeah, you high. Bro, like, I spent a long time making the Mac. You feel me? Like, so it's like, we're not saying that we're above criticism, but it's also like, bro, stop calling shit a classic in 24 hours. Stop calling shit trash, bro. Or, you get what I'm saying? Right? It's like, let this shit grow on you. Yeah, just like play it a couple times, let it grow on you, listen to it in different spaces. And then if you still think it's ass, then cool, it's ass. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. You gave it a chance, you feel me? But it's like, try to like live with stuff. Even there are projects that I absolutely hate that I've listened to at least 15 times. Right? Because I'm trying to find what that artist liked about what they did. And sometimes I never find it. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I never understand it. But then there has been other times where I've like listened and I'm like, okay, it's not for me, but I get it. Yeah, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, just like it's too quick the way that we do things now.
For sure, man. I think Tyler was one who said, I can't remember the exact quote, but he's like, I took X amount of times. I made this shit just for you to judge it on your lunch break.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? That's like, damn, no, niggas do be doing that. They did like, bro, quick as fuck, too. Like, we won't even listen to 3 songs. Yep, your lunch break.
They're on the good or bad. Like, niggas have been like, this shit a classic. It's like, nigga, drop that midnight. It's 12 right now.
Right? They ain't even in there, right? But like, let it breathe. You know what I'm saying? Let it reach the people it needs to, and, so on and so forth. But, nah, man, you make some fire coins, bro. Now, when it comes to, like, if someone's discovering reason through this show, the Important Ears Only show, what's the one song they should play with headphones on and no distractions?
Man, that's tough. One, that's really, really tough. I say, I gotta give like 3. It's hard. You gotta say, I gotta give like 3. I would say, I say Better Days.
Okay.
Call Me, and probably Extinct. I think that those 3 like display different things that I personally love about my own music, and 2 of them are storytelling records, and an Extinct shows my competitive side because I love rap as a sport, and it's two niggas on there that I hold in very high regard, and I feel like we are just not really going at it, but just like displaying the best parts of ourselves. You know what I mean? So yeah, probably those 3 for sure.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's a track. That's a track. Man, I love when there's great artists link up, bro, and then it's like verse after verse, you can tell like, I guess that's a question for you. Is like, were y'all all linked up and y'all made that in the studio together?
So we weren't. So I was linked up with Zay when I did that part, and then I linked up with Jid to do our part. If that makes sense. So yeah, I went on tour with Jid, and then we was chopping it. And it's funny because Jid was actually supposed to also be on Pop Shit. So we have me and Schoolboy Q. It was supposed to be me, Schoolboy Q, and Jid. And the label cut Jid's verse. His verse is crazy. Fucking his verse is crazy too. So it was supposed to be that. And then what's crazy is that Extinct. So when we did the first half of it, Extinct was actually supposed to be like the new One Train. So there's a remix on YouTube that's not on streaming, but it has like Denzel Curry, Joey Badass. Yeah, so it was supposed to be like 14 niggas. It was supposed to be Guap Dad, Buddy. It was supposed to be just like a whole, and it was for like us. Like, yes, it's an 8-minute record, but if you don't want to hear it, skip it. Well, we don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on. It was supposed to be that, and then it became like, oh, well, how we gonna playlist it or that, and then it fucked up the you know what I mean, the fun of it all. But yeah, you could feel the energy in it. You could feel like all of us excited about
The competitive spirit.
bro, like just excited about doing the shit. You know what I mean? And me and Jid talk about that all the time. Like there's rap beefs and then there's competitive rap. And competitive rap is like, well, we just rapping. I'm not saying nothing about you, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm displaying my pain, you display yours, and we're having fun. I can be excited about what you said. You could be excited about what I said, and it's just competition. And there's rap beefs where it's like, no, I'm not excited about nothing you're saying. But you get what I'm saying? But yeah, it would probably be those 3 joints. So it's not true.
Hell yeah, man. But definitely pretty stellar joints for her. At the 40 Years Only show, what's the one message that you hope the crowd leaves hearing loud and clear for her?
Be yourself and be authentic. Like, you know, do things for you and your spirit, not for the clicks or the money. Because if you're only doing it for the clicks or the money, if that don't come, then you're going to end up being over it anywhere. You know what I mean? So be authentic, do things that you want to do them for you, do them in the most authentic way that you can do them, and just enjoy yourself while you do it. So yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I definitely feel that, man. Be yourself.
Be yourself.
It's so beautiful. You know what I mean? When you step on a stage for the Important Years Only show, how do you want to connect with this crowd differently than the past shows you've done?
I'm excited about it because of how intimate I feel like the feel is gonna be, and like I wanna leave like feeling like I got to know the people that are there and that they also got to know me. So I'm excited about it because I get to do records that I may not normally do. You know what I mean, on like a festival stage or something like that. I get to do some of my favorite records that I wrote and put them on these projects because these are like what I call the meat and potatoes of what I'm trying to, you know what I mean, serve and whatnot. So I'm excited about that shit because I'm gonna get to talk to people in the crowd and really get to feel their energy. And it's like if you going through something, I'm gonna be able to feel it. You know what I mean? Or if you out with your girls and y'all just came out to have it, I'm gonna be able to feel all that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm most like looking forward to. I love like shows like that.
Hell yeah. Do you like when you're like doing bigger shows like festivals and things like that, do you have the free room to pick your set list?
Yeah, I could always pick it, but it's like you want to always pick your set to match like what you're going in for. Sure, you know what I'm saying? Like shows like if I'm doing Rolling Loud, I'm just gonna do the turned up shit because these niggas as high as that they not trying to hear none of that shit. Man, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like
Where's the hook?
Where's the hook? Where's the 808? Where's the bass? When they get like stop all that shit. But then you know you get booked for like a Dreamville Fest, they come for that. You know what I mean? So it's like you can get off other things. You know what I mean? They want to hear the singles also, but they come for that. They want to hear, you know, the raps and the lyricism. So, but yeah, always have free reign, but it's definitely smart. I've seen some artists pick the wrong sets, and even though you're doing dope songs, they don't go over the way that, you know what I mean? Niggas think you're
Crowd confused. I was like, nigga, did we come? Well, a therapy session. At this point in your career, what's one thing about you the industry still misunderstands?
I think everything's so like polarizing now where it's like black or white. It's like you either hate this or love this. I think the industry doesn't understand that like if I speak about something, it doesn't mean that like I hate it or love it. Like majority of things in life I don't feel any either way about. Like I don't hate or love. I don't pick sides on things unless I truly feel that way. And when I do, you'll know that I truly feel that way because I stand on it. I think that that's one thing that I've always been misunderstood on is that if I come out one day and say that I love Erykah Badu's album, you know, whatever it is, people are like, oh, he's inspired and loves Erykah Badu. She did it. And then if the next day I'm like, I don't like this song, it's like he hates, yeah, it's saying like, so I think that that's one thing that a lot of people misunderstand about me is that like I'm going through this wave right now where because of me splitting with TD and all that shit, like there's a large portion of people that think I don't like Kendrick Lamar. And I actually talked about on this EP that's coming up. I got a song called Idols and Rivals, and I say, I never thought it would be a time where I get online and niggas think I hate one of my idols. Like, that's crazy to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, but that's like where the internet is now. It's like, you know what I mean? If you say something or something happened or you do something, it's like that's what's stuck when you got to wear that jacket for as long as they feel like making you wear that shit. You know what I mean? So But the internet's also not a real place, so I'd be up for it.
Man, you know, I have to, I try to realize that a lot, man. It's just where people be bullshitting.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Now, what do you think is the responsibility of an artist when it comes to feeding the culture versus feeding the album?
I think you should always lead with feeding the culture and then try to work the culture into the algorithm. I think Tyler does a great job at that. Like he makes shit that he wants to make, and that's for his culture and his movement, and then he feeds the algorithm with like the surprise drops or loud color schemes or outfits, whatever. Like I think it's always best to do it in that way, like culture first, and then kind of like turn over. Okay, now that we made this, how do we fit that into what the algorithm wants us to deliver? You get a message, so yeah.
I put it like that. Well, I appreciate your time, bro. I definitely fuck with the answers you're giving us, man, and the insights you're giving us about yourself, your career, and your journey that you've been on. And I pray this shit is nothing but fruitful for you, man. Thank you all for it, man. And I'm excited for projects coming. Three more projects coming this year?
No, two. Oh, Bob, not that you. Yeah, two. Towards year, two this year, and then I'm leading off at the top of the year with another one. So yeah, we just working, bro. I'm excited about it.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we'll close it out there, man. And Important Years Only show is August 27th, 26th. He says right, absolutely. It's been that day since it's been scheduled. But yeah, man, that's it, man. That's it. Too fire. Cool.